Channel 2 News starts now with breaking news.
And we are following that breaking news just into the newsroom within the last half hour. We are following a situation near the corner of Farmer and Niagara Streets in Buffalo. We are working right now to learn exactly what happened here. And as you can see from a live look at the scene from our photographer who is right there now, there are several cop cars as police are investigating what exactly happened. Now, we have reached out to city officials in Buffalo to learn more information, and we are gathering that at this hour. Now, this is a developing story, and of course, we will update you as we do learn more and get any new details live on air and on our website, WGRZ.com. The travel Thanksgiving rush is starting to pick up, and AAA says it could be one of the busiest in years. Good evening, everyone. I'm Courtney Courtwright. The next couple of days could be a busy travel time for so many people. AAA is predicting more than 81 million people will travel at least 50 miles from home over the holiday. They say at least 73 million will be driving to their Thanksgiving holiday destinations. Storm Team 2's Paul Hare will have a look at your forecast, including the days leading up to the holiday. But that still leaves 8 million people who will head to the airport to travel, and they will take the skies. 2 on your sides. Alyssa Clausell was at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport and has what travelers might expect.
Well, 'tis the season for some of the busiest travel days of the year as millions of Americans make their ways to airports to make it home to family for Thanksgiving. Here at the Buffalo Airport, that travel frenzy hasn't set in quite yet.
I'm heading to Sacramento, California for Thanksgiving.
Whether it's a flight out west.
I'm from San Diego, California. I actually play baseball here at Niagara University, so I'm heading home for Thanksgiving.
Or to the Midwest.
My granddaughter's house. The whole family is heading there today from different states and different airports.
Airports across the country are bracing for the holiday travel rush. But in Buffalo, travelers say the day started off calm.
I think it seems pretty normal to when I flew home for Christmas. Nothing crazy going on, to be honest.
The departure board showing good signs, and so did the lines.
I was worried that it's going to be busier, so I came 3 hours ahead of time, but I was pleasantly surprised to see that it's not that crazy and not that busy, so I'm happy.
Still, recent travel disruptions from the government shutdown had some travelers playing it safe.
I waited until Tuesday to get my ticket.
But with the government back open and the Federal Aviation Administration now lifting all restrictions, airlines have resumed their regular schedules.
It looks great. I'm flying on time, and I'm excited to see my family. I can't wait.
Now, Tuesday, that's the day that the FAA says will be one of the busiest travel days in 15 years. We will, of course, keep our eyes on the skies and the roads ahead of the Thanksgiving holiday. On your side at the Buffalo Niagara International Airport, Alyssa Clausell, Channel 2 News.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Turning now to a check of your forecast. Most of western New York enjoying a dry and sunny day for most of the day. Here's a live look now tonight at downtown Buffalo, but the weather is going to change as we look to tomorrow, and we might need the umbrella. Storm Team 2's Paul Hare has the latest. And Paul, we know it, a lot of people are watching the weather with their plans.
Absolutely. It's a busy week coming up here, Courtney. So 34 degrees out there right now, dipping down tonight just a little bit below this, which sounds pretty cold, but it's actually pretty close to where we're supposed to be for this time of year. Satellite and radar shows some precipitation on the way because of a low pressure system that is quickly approaching. That's going to be bringing possibly some showers through the overnight, possibly a few snowflakes for portions of the southern tier as well. And those showers are going to continue scattered into the first part of your Sunday, tapering off by the time we get into the afternoon, really. So most of Sunday is going to be a relatively nice day. It looks like Monday then we have some high pressure in place, so high and dry, so that'll be good news there, but some additional precipitation on the way as we move through the day on Tuesday, I should say, into Wednesday. So here is what we are tracking right now. A little bit of rain, possibly some snowflakes through the overnight into the first part of Sunday. It is definitely going to be a breezy day with wind gusts 25-30 miles an hour for many of us. The second part of Sunday, pretty quiet. Also, something we are definitely keeping our eye on starting probably Wednesday night. Moving towards the weekend, a potential lake effect snow event. Courtney, we'll have all those details a little bit later.
All right, Paul, thank you. And with Thanksgiving less than a week away, we are on your side, keeping a close eye on that forecast and how it may impact your holiday plans. Join us this Tuesday, that's November 25th, as Storm Team 2 gets you ready for the holiday week and the wintry weather that could be on the way. We'll cover what's expected here in Western New York, as well as popular travel destinations. Tune in for Storm Team 2 Winter Weather Impact live at 2:30 right here on WGRZ Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The Starbucks union says its strike is growing, and according to the union, it now stands at more than 30 stores nationwide. Today, local workers hit the picket line in Amherst. Some workers are asking for better hours, more staffing, and a livable wage.
We love Starbucks and we want it to be better. And I'm a student. I have a second job. I've been working at Starbucks for 4 years. I've worked in 3 different states at Starbucks. I don't want to leave my job. I don't want to quit. I want a contract so I can go back to doing what I love.
And when asked for a response, a Starbucks spokesperson said in part, quote, more than 99% of our 17,000 U.S. stores are open and serving customers, including many the union said would strike, but never closed or quickly reopened. When the union is ready to return to the bargaining table, we're ready to talk, end quote. With Thanksgiving just days away, people all across Western New York are stepping up to make sure families can celebrate. The Rural Outreach Center in East Aurora was packed with people all looking to make sure families have the resources they need and meals on their tables for Thanksgiving. They teamed up with West Her, which donated 300 turkeys for today's turkey drive. At the same time, the Rural Outreach Center teamed up with Independent Health for its Good for the Neighborhood event, bringing free resources directly to families in rural areas, from health and wellness services to insurance support.
I say good in one way because we can provide these resources for people, but also in another, it just kind of shows how many people really out here in the rural areas do struggle to get to resources.
The Rural Outreach Center covers more than 60 zip codes, we're told, in 5 counties. And it's not only in East Aurora, but it's also in Buffalo, where families are lining up for some Thanksgiving meals. Take a look at this. Bill's Safety Damar Hamlin hosting his 3rd turkey drive with his Chasing M's Foundation and the Police Athletic League of Buffalo over at the Hennepin Center. You can see turkeys being handed out along with all those fixings. You saw that stuffing there, to more than 100 families. For Hamlin, he says the goal is simple, making sure families feel special on Thanksgiving.
Growing up, my family could have X amount of problems going on. Nobody's life could be perfect, but just being able to get together with family for a little bit of moment and escape that reality of life truly was something that I enjoyed the most about my childhood. So, just trying to create that feeling for the kids here in Buffalo.
Hamlin spent the day not only giving out meals, but also meeting with the kids, asking them what they are most thankful for this year. And at the same time, the turkey drive was happening over at the Calvary Baptist Church in Buffalo's Neighbors Helping Neighbors. That's also ringing true here. They're hosting their annual Thanksgiving outreach with help from volunteers and University Presbyterian Church. The event was packed with not only people, but also all the classic holiday fixings, including that turkey and all those sides you see right there on your screen. Organizers say giving back to the community makes it all meaningful.
Of individuals who do not have immediate family, nor do they have individuals who they can share a meal with. So we want to make sure that we provide a warm meal for them to, again, let them know that during this season, there is something to be thankful for.
Yeah, it's a great time for us to just take a beat and to remember what we're grateful for, and to remember that it's nice to help other people and help them to have a happy Thanksgiving as well.
And we're told 1,200 to 1,500 meals were provided throughout the city of Buffalo today from this event. And a reminder for all of you, our Food to Families Drive in partnership with Tops Friendly Markets and Feed More Western New York is just around the corner. It will be here before we all know it. You can help right now by buying a little brown bag of hope at any register at Tops. They cost just $5, $10, or $20. Each bag is filled with nutritious, non-perishable food that goes directly to Feed More Western New York and the many agencies and partners it serves. And we will hope that you join us on Friday, December 5th for our annual food drive. You can stop by any of these Tops locations. You see them all there on your screen to drop off food, or if you'd like to, cash donations. The Channel 2 team will be at the Tops on Transit Road in Depew all morning, all day, and all night as you stop by with your donations. So we do hope to see you there. Next at 11, the at-home premiere of Holiday Touchdown, A Bill's Love Story, and how one Buffalo staple is celebrating. And blooms, bubbles, and just a splash of Oz. What is this feeling at the Aquarium of Niagara as it gets a wicked makeover? That's ahead.
Would you rather be than right here, right now?
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
Go Bills.
New at 11, did you catch the premiere of Hallmark's Holiday Touchdown, A Bill's Love Story? After months of anticipation, I feel like we've been talking about this forever. It aired tonight on the Hallmark Channel. This is the second film in this series. The first one featured the Kansas City Chiefs. There was lots of things Bills in this movie, including appearances from players and coaches and just so much more. If you missed it, the movie will be streaming on Hallmark Plus. That's where I will be watching also. The Ice at Canalside is celebrating the movie too with a theme night called Hallmark Movie Night. The Ice has many events planned through the winter.
We have all of our festive Fridays, our special events Saturdays, and a lot of weekly promotions as well.
And tomorrow is another event. It is the Wicked Takeover over at the Ice on Canalside. That starts at noon and it does run until about 8 at night. And it looks like Niagara Falls, speaking of Wicked, got a little bit of magic from the land of Oz today at the Aquarium of Niagara. I mean, look at these visitors who flew in by broom and bubble for the fantastically Wicked event. Glinda and Elphaba, along with children, enjoying a day of Wicked-themed activities, including sing-alongs, crafts, and challenges to find hidden pink and green animals all throughout the aquarium. The aquarium says it was a chance to also highlight this message.
To have a little bit of fun with the movie coming out, but also to let people know that there are threats happening out there in the ocean. The ocean is threatened by wickedness, by things like climate change and pollution, and you do have a chance to do something for good.
Show them, hey, it is important to reduce, reuse, recycle, do all of the things that make a very small difference in their day, makes a really big difference in our environment and our communities as well.
And there were also different presentations throughout the aquarium, including ones that included penguins, sea lions, and coral. And right now we're going to take a live look over downtown Buffalo. You can still hear that music. We'll check in with Paul. Here's your full forecast coming up next. So we enjoyed a nice and quiet day today, but like we've been talking about, that is going to change tomorrow, and there's some rain that might happen for parts of Western New York, right?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
We are really keeping our eye later in the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, today was nice. I actually cut the grass, mulched the leaves.
Oh, yeah?
Those are the things you want to do like ASAP, especially, maybe parts of tomorrow, maybe Monday. That'll be nice. But yeah, as we move closer to Thanksgiving.
Oh, that makes me feel really good, that face, Paul.
Yeah, I don't even have to give the forecast. I'm just going to make a sound effect, just a moan. Hey, it's Western New York. We're getting near the end of November. I don't even have to say it. You know exactly
we're used to it.
What that means. Take a look. We have a low pressure system that is bringing us a cold front. That's going to bring us a little bit of precipitation as we go through the overnight. Probably just a few sprinkles in some areas, possibly a few snowflakes for areas of the southern tier, some of those higher elevations. That moves through relatively quickly. We will likely see a few scattered showers for the day on Sunday. Rain for the north, probably some snowflakes or some mixed precipitation for areas south of Buffalo. And those scattered showers pretty much linger through the day. Again, we're not talking about any kind of washout for Sunday. Later in the day on Sunday, things are actually very nice. So we will finish Sunday nice. We will start Monday nice as well. High pressure building for Monday, some clouds moving in later in the day. And then Tuesday, we are looking at some additional rain moving up here from the southwest. And again, this could be a little bit more moderate rain. It looks like since it's passing to the south, initial models showed it coming a little bit closer to Buffalo. So this is good news, again, if you're not a fan of the rain. So a lot of that passing to the south. But again, we're looking at some rain for Tuesday into Wednesday. All right, this model is a little more generic and it goes out a little bit further. Probably shouldn't even be showing it because, again, these aren't super precise this far out, but I did want you to see what the data is showing right now. It looks like Wednesday late into Thursday and Friday, temperatures are going to be really cold. We're going to have a little bit of precipitation and it's probably going to be lake effect, probably some snow as we move through Thursday into Friday and even the first part of the weekend. So again, just wanted to show this. It's something that we're certainly tracking, obviously with just a little bit of a variation with the temperatures or the wind direction. That could mean some very different scenarios here for Western New York in terms of snow. Again, we have a little bit of rain tomorrow, just some very scattered showers, and then later in the week we're looking at some precipitation chances. Of course, some of that will be snow. This is why getting very cold later in the week. By the time we get to Thursday, this cold Canadian air has sunk down. Finally, by the time we get to the weekend, things warm up a little bit, but look at this drop off here in temperatures, pretty close to normal for the first part of the week, and then a high temperature Thursday of 35 degrees. 31 degrees as we go through the overnight. Again, we have that very scattered showered chance, possibly some snowflakes for areas south. Definitely a breezy day tomorrow with wind gusts up to 30 miles an hour, 46 degrees, pretty much right where we're supposed to be. And then here are the 7 days ahead. Sunday, not all that bad for most of the day. Actually really nice on Monday. Those rain showers move into some of the area Tuesday and Wednesday. It looks like Thanksgiving. We are probably looking at some snow in the forecast. Probably in the next day or so, we will be calling a weather impact alert as we get a little bit more clarity as we move Wednesday towards the weekend. All right, busy week ahead. We'll be back after this.
This is the Two on Your Side Wonder Windows Sports Desk.
Hey there, I'm Jonathan Acosta, joined here by our Bills analyst Vic Carucci. We're taking a look at the state of this Bills team with this mini bye week after their Thursday night loss down in Houston, 23-19 to the Texans. And Vic, the defense didn't have a great first half in that loss, but they sort of fixed things a lot in the second half. The offense, though, never really got going. And now when you look at sort of several of these past few losses, a lot of them following a similar script where it's really the offense getting dominated by defenses like Atlanta, Miami, Houston, and that's brought a lot of heat by the way of offensive coordinator Joe Brady. When you look at this Bills offense, I guess how much of that heat is deserved by Brady, especially with the way this offense has looked against some of those defenses?
I think everybody's accountable when it comes to the offensive shortcomings. And, you know, when you start the conversation about this team, it has to start with Josh Allen. But how often has he looked like the MVP he was last season? Certainly against Tampa Bay, had the Superman cape on and, you know, the 6 touchdowns. But for the most part, it's not been that kind of year for him, which in turn has led to some of these questions. And Joe Brady's work as a coordinator comes under question. You know, can he do a better job of scheming receivers to get open and do a better job of, you know, making the passing game more effective? Or, as we saw in the fourth quarter, you know, those 4 consecutive run plays with James Cook and the fourth one on 4th down and 1 going for a 2-yard loss, and you had an exasperated Josh Allen on the sidelines, you know, wondering, what are we doing? And I think that's a question that's resonating, frankly, about this team. But, yeah, I think when you have those struggles, the fingers are going to point in a lot of directions. Offensive coordinator is one of them.
And certainly all of this comes with the context, too, of some shuffling in the wide receiver room. Keon Coleman was inactive for a 2nd straight week against Houston What is your evaluation of the situation, and do you think that maybe there's a chance that we see Coleman return to the field against the Steelers for the Bills' next game and sort of show that he's grown from this learning moment?
You know, in light of the mediocrity that exists throughout the receiving corps, it's really hard to say that there isn't a place for Keon Coleman, just even if it's the third or fourth spot among the receivers. And health could be another factor in this too. Injuries, whatever, could get him back in there. I just think maybe they're just trying to be patient and be convinced that he can do things in the right way, show up on time for meetings, all the things that have kind of led to him being out of these last couple of games, and straighten his act out.
The Bills 7-4 at this point in the season. Next up for them, a trip to Pittsburgh to take on Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers. For Vic Carucci, I'm Jonathan Acosta for Channel 2 Sports.
All right, thanks, Jonathan and Vic. And new tonight at 11, check this out. The MVP himself, quarterback Josh Allen, was honored by his former college team, the Wyoming Cowboys, today. You're seeing some pictures from the University of the celebration. Allen will be the last Cowboy to ever wear the number 17, and you see it right there. The university is retiring his number, and they did that earlier this afternoon to a sold-out crowd. Oh my gosh, Paul, look, packed stands, right?
Wow.
It was his first time back in Laramie since he was drafted in 2018. I can't imagine a moment for Josh like that. Pretty cool.
Yeah, and that whole Wyoming story, such a good story.
It is. It really is. Thanks so much for joining us for Channel 2 News Tonight.